Welcome to Hanging with Here to Zen, the genre-free music and lifestyle podcast presented by Here to Zen magazine. This is the place to come to celebrate all types of music, lifestyle, and more. We are glad you have come along for the ride, so sit back and enjoy the episode.
Here we go, everyone. We're recording this the night before the final of the two Kiss shows, the first of the two final Kiss shows. So you'll probably be watching this with any luck right before they hit the stage for night one of two of the final time. We're actually here to talk about what's next in general. So, Rod, thanks for hanging again.
Pleasure.
For both of us, it's going to be kind of bittersweet. You know, I especially loved waking up and seeing the footage of what they did to the Empire State Building.
Yeah, that was cool. For sure.
A lot of fans are, for some reason, pissy about the fact that there's photos of they're using the original members on some of the stuff and things like that. And I figure it's for branded makeup personalities. Get over it. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh, it's 50 years, right? Let's celebrate everything. Not
Yeah.
just, yeah, for sure.
You know, Bruce has made it pretty known he's not invited. You know, a lot of people are saying that could be a front.
Yeah. Hasn't he got a gig on somewhere though? I read something about 10 minutes ago.
It likely does.
Yeah.
You know, like, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters.
No.
You know, I think the best thing that they did was actually mention him in the Hall of Fame speech.
True. Yeah. But I mean, we've spoken about this before, right? I mean, this has been the lineup for 20 years, so people still can't get their heads around that.
I don't understand what he can add.
Yeah.
I actually think bringing anyone else on stage will actually detract from it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. 100% agree.
Do you see there being anything different in the staging?
I don't think so. I think I mean, people have talked about it, right? And then I watched Three Sides Today with Craig Gass, the last one from the other day, and he said there's going to be something happen after the end of the show. I don't know what that entails for the pay-per-view, but I mean, what more could they do, really? Right? I don't think.
I'd love to see, for the people that'll be watching the pay-per-view, I'd love to see them film them walk off stage for the last time and take their makeup off.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Go behind the Superman curtain.
Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure.
I don't like what special effects can you add?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And they're in a union city, being New York, so that's not like they can run over and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be. Yeah. I don't know if that means going to start earlier.
Who
knows? I don't know. Like it has to be the same set list. There's no need to change the songs.
No, yeah. I mean, that's been pretty stagnant since they were here, right? So
yeah, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you see happens after the last show?
Oh, I think I mean the obligatory, the Live 5 we've talked about, right? I think that's your branding with your release on DVD, Blu-ray, vinyl, CD, everything. I think it needs to be handled very well though, this one. I think last time they did with the Rocks Vegas one was very, very poorly done, right? You had mix match and this. I think it needs to come out in its own formats individually.
Yep.
And speaking from a guy who sells stuff, that's what people want. They don't want, I've got to buy 3 different things to get what I want. So I think that's something they've got to look at very carefully when they market that, whoever they're going to market that through Universal. So that'll be one. Yep. That's definitely on the cards, I'd imagine, for sure.
I don't want them to touch it. I don't want them to touch, don't record the first show.
Yeah.
Like they record every show, but don't comp it out of the first and second show, go in and fix some stuff. We know what it sounds like now. I'm content with the way Kiss sound now because it's guys in their 70s and 60s. Let it be the way it is. I'd much rather see, because when we were there, they had a camera crew following them everywhere. When they were here, like in October. So they've had camera crews with them. From what I can see, DJ Viola, the guy that did the 2-part documentary, he's been with them. He's posted a lot of photos, like dressing room photos and stuff like that, which says to me that he's involved in some way with whatever's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Tommy posted a photo the other day, post showing the dressing room, and it was taken by him. So considering how good that 2-part documentary was, that makes me happy thinking he's involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Something to look forward to there. Cool.
I don't think they've got the rights to the Kissology name yet, so whatever they release can't be that.
Yeah, which is fair enough, right? I mean, this could be a very good standalone product itself.
Yeah. Yep. Look, do they market it, wait till February and market it so it's the 50th anniversary of the first album, and do like the beginning and the end together, something like that? Whether it's in one package.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that could work for sure. I mean, far away, right? So
yeah,
it's not a long time to wait. And obviously pay-per-view can hold people over that can't get in. So sure.
And the thing is, there's going to be enough. Like, I was really like, oh wow, I really should get that pay-per-view, but I'm going to be busy at the show on the day. But the amount of people that will actually capture that recording, and it'll be all over the internet within minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Same boat. Yeah.
But like the next phase for the band is what I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking more on the lines of Eric and Tommy. Where do they go? What do you see in the future for them?
I don't really know, right? It's up in the air. I think Tommy obviously is so close to the band that he'll be doing things behind the scenes as he's done for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. Eric's an interesting one though, isn't he? I don't really know. Yeah. You probably have better insight than I have, but
I don't see him going back to Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper's got a strong band.
yeah.
I don't see the point in Alice removing Glenn, who's been pretty much his longest term drummer, also plays in the Vampires with him. That would just be ludicrous.
Yeah.
For the sake of nostalgia, really. I see Eric probably taking some time off because he honestly doesn't. He looks like he's over it on stage a lot of the time. All the fans comment about it.
Yeah, my daughter commented on it, and she's 10, like we said. It's a big thing when she noticed something like that as well. So
yeah, and he's allowed to be like the putting on the makeup, the putting on the wigs, the costumes. It's taxing. The travel, taxing.
Their last few press conferences, where they've just gone in without makeup and stuff, right? It's I think they might be all over that at this stage, right?
Yeah, and I don't see him going back to doing like clinics. I don't know if he ends up joining a band.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Like, it's just. I agree with you. Tommy goes back to sort of catalog consultant kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I actually see him doing like a Tommy Thayer and Friends album. And he's close with Alex from Rush. He's done stuff with Alice Cooper, with Robbie from the Doors. I'd actually love to see him go away from the Kiss sound, not do a song about space, for instance. And just hear him write and sing and have guest singers. I think, I don't give a shit what other people think. I'd actually really like to hear what he does outside of a Kiss banner.
Yeah.
Paul, Soul Station.
Yeah, he'll be back to doing something like that at some point, right? For sure.
Yeah. And Gene, I can't see Gene lasting more than 6 months before he's on stage with his own band.
Yeah.
Or doing some sort of live performance with somebody.
Yeah. No, I agree with Gene. Yeah, for sure.
I actually see Paul maybe popping up sporadically with people like the Foo Fighters, little special guest appearances and things like that here and there. Because he and Dave Grohl are close, and Dave Grohl's brought out you name it on stage. You've had John Travolta, you've had Paul McCartney. Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't he have Paul Stanley on stage? Next year, what do you see for catalog release?
Well, the big one would nearly have to be the original album, right? Coming out
Yeah,
in box set, I'd think. I mean, that's already been talked about behind the scenes from certain people. So
Mm.
I think that's probably the next big thing people will be looking forward to, I suppose. So
What do you want to see in it? Beyond, like, of course, there's the first album and probably Wicked Lester.
yeah, that anything live early on, right? I'd like to see something in DVD form
Yep.
as well, in a box, as well as the CDs, just to give people that little bit extra there,
Yeah,
what we've had in the first two releases. So
because I'd love to see it be as in depth as how the Creatures box set was, because that was massive.
pretty full on,
And
yeah.
I find myself going back and listening to a lot of the stuff
Mm.
over and over again, because I'm always a sucker for B-sides and demos. I love B-sides and demos.
Yeah.
They've apparently got the entire Bell Sound rehearsal tape,
Okay.
which is where that YouTube version of Nothing to Lose comes from, the 7-minute one.
Right. Yeah.
Part of me wonders if, there's been rumors there's a recording of, Paul and Gene when they were in the band Rainbow. There's a live recording that
Right.
Ostrander had.
Mhm.
I wonder about that. I wonder even things about if they were smart enough, and Gene and Paul could well be smart enough to
Mm.
buy things like the rights to Chelsea
Yeah.
or Ace's, was it Molimo demos?
Mhm.
Like, before Ace and Peter in the band, I could see Gene and Paul thinking
That'd be-
about the retail version of it and getting them.
yeah.
Like the Wicked Lester. I'd like to see proper. I'd like to see, say, Tommy or whoever really sit down and work out because there's so many different versions of Wicked Lester that apparently float around. Work out what's what. If it's the Steve Coronel versus Ron Lee Jack kind of thing. I'd like to see a definitive version of those songs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd love to see something early, like if they've got like a cleaned up version of that very first New Year's Eve 73, 74 appearance. Any of that kind of stuff I'd love to see. Don't know what else there would be in the way of archival footage, but because they just, they're doing that court case to make sure they're retaining the copyrights on that old footage that's been floating around, it says to me that something's happening.
It's happening behind the scenes. Yeah.
You wouldn't
For
waste
sure.
you wouldn't waste money on lawyers if you didn't plan to use it.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like, do you want to see Gene do an album?
Oh, I like we spoke about previously. I'd like to see 4 solo albums still
Yeah.
under the Kiss. Yeah, I really would like to see that, just from a different perspective. 45, 46 years on, with 2 different members as well, and just see what they can hash out on their own.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really interesting. And I think music in general needs a good kick in the pants at the moment, like that. Like you've got the Stones, just come out with their new album, and
Yep.
Beatles have done, the single and whatnot. So there's something to give it a little bit of a kick along in 2024 would be nice. So
Where do you see their styles though for their solo albums? Like, do you see
Uh,
Paul soul stationing it under the Kiss banner?
well, I mean, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? That might ruffle a few feathers there.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm not opposed to anything really.
Yeah.
Me, I'm with music. Like people don't like Gene's first album, I love it. Same with
Yeah.
Peter's. They're
Yep.
great albums. So I'd take it all on board.
Yeah,
For
like
sure.
I see Eric going back to that very almost like how he covered all the 70s and stuff on ESP.
Yeah.
I see originals in that vein.
Yeah, that'd be really cool for sure. Yeah.
Tommy, I see it being just. I actually see Tommy's probably being the most eclectic.
And as we discussed before too, right? That David Cobb factor as the
Yeah,
charge there for him, that'd be pretty cool. So
yeah. I'd like to see Gene work with Jay Ruston, who has done Foo Fighters, is doing the new Anthrax, has done Corey Taylor. I think Gene needs that kind of producer. I actually would love to see Paul work with Bob Ezrin.
yeah, I was thinking the same. And funnily enough, I was thinking about Eric this afternoon about a solo album. I'd like to see him work with Bruce,
Yeah.
just out of left field, just to something different as well.
Does
Probably.
does Eric sing, or does he get part of the Vegas Mafia on there in the way of Todd and Zach and all of that?
I think he sings. For it to be a true Kiss album, I
Yeah.
think they all do their own tracks, right?
I'd love to see him sing a whole album. Like, people
Yeah.
don't realize what a weapon he has for Kiss.
Oh, yeah, he's great. So no, that'd be pretty cool. Gene, I think Gene, as far as an album goes, he's sort of all over the shop at the best of times, and I think that's what would be another good one from him, right?
Which is why I
So,
think he needs a producer.
Yep.
Just to go, no, Gene, you can't bring in that demo from 30 years ago.
mm.
You have to go and write new shit.
Yeah, thinking as well this afternoon about someone like Toby Wright, back with him for that,
Yeah.
favorite album,
Oh, look, that is something that could work.
Yeah, absolutely. That darker
Actually,
side of
I would love to see that fucking album get remixed. God, it annoys me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Like, while Toby did what was right at the time, I say this to everyone, would love to see Bruce be allowed to remix that album.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Being that he had 9 co-writes, I think he knew the vision of what he wanted from those songs.
True. And let's not wait till 2027 for 30
30th anniversary, yeah. But
Sure.
yeah, so your guys 4 solo albums.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yep.
I even if not even some EPs, like a 5-song EP each, put it together like a best of solo albums too.
Yeah, cool.
That'd work. There's got to be more off the soundboards coming.
Yeah, I was only thinking about that a minute ago. That's sort of a give me at some point, right? For sure.
Where do you want them to go with it?
I'd like to see something from the Revenge era for sure. And then I'd like to see something from 1982, right? Maybe music or something like that would be pretty cool, because that's a pretty nice little mix there, right? So
Yeah, like maybe the Auckland
Marsh
show.
Mhm.
I'd love to see something from early in the Rock and Roll Over tour.
Okay.
Where they're playing, like, I think they do like Hard Luck Woman and things like that.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. A Revenge would be great.
Yeah.
Or even Australia 95 would be great.
Something from here.
Because, I'd say Tokyo, but Gene was sick in the Japanese league, so he was better by the time they got here. Like, I know they've got Pro of Melbourne Night 1 and 2 on video, I'm pretty sure. So I'm hoping that they have board recordings of
those as well.
Yeah. That they would be fucking insane. They were so good on that tour. I don't know, what else do we see?
What do you make of Gene's comment the other day about Hand on the Bible last show in makeup? What is?
Well, I think he's covering his tracks because there's already been talk about another Kiss cruise. And if they end up playing together, people are going to say, people don't understand. They've said this is the final tour. They've never ever once said this is the final ever Kiss show. They're saying it's the final shows of the final tour. So if people want to generalize, they should know better with Kiss than to fucking generalize. Because they're not done.
No.
They're done touring in this capacity. I see maybe an unplugged tour. I see various things where they might do maybe another symphony gig. Who knows? They're not fucking done. Like,
No, there's going to be more. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
if
Yeah.
people can't read into the final tour,
Mm.
not the final shows.
Yeah.
Like they will never go out and do big tours.
No.
You
Yeah.
know, like they might do a Vegas residency. That's still not a tour. They're stagnant in one city.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Totally different.
the cruise, they're on a fucking boat in the ocean. That's not a tour.
No. Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. And I think that's where it leads me to think about what happens to these diehard Kiss fans at the end when they walk out of that final show. Like you and I, we love Kiss,
Yeah.
but we made the choice, like a lot of people do, to have families and concentrate on life rather than going around with bands. We've done our time doing multiple shows on a run, and that's fine. But for us, like anyone in life, life takes its own path and turn. And I'm seeing all the great footage and great photos that we know people that are over there. We see people sharing it, but all I can think of is what happens when they wake up the day of after the last show when all they've known is chasing a band on tour. What the fuck happens to them?
Yeah.
Like
Going to spree and who knows? Yeah.
what? Honestly, like I'm trying not to be negative towards them, but what's their plan B in life?
Yeah, life just stops, right? Yeah, I can't work it out. It's a hard one. I mean, we were going, and then when you weigh it up and you go 25 grand or something, for 2 nights and a Rangers game the next day, and I just said to Tracy, "This is all about me. This whole holiday's about me, so it's not a family thing. So let's just not go." So
yeah, and like I remember when it was first floated. What was it? July 2019 or something like that. Was that the original New York or July
yeah,
2020?
and set on the cruise, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And they started that countdown. I remember going, oh, we should go. And we're very lucky that we have two very understanding wives that go, sure.
yeah. Just do what you want.
Yeah. But it's the same. I go, I've got kids, I've got all this kind of responsibility. Why the fuck would I want to do that?
Yeah, yeah. And
You
it's
know?
not haven't seen before, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
either. Yeah. No offense. I'm not
No.
trying to put it on the 20,000 people going there for the last 2 shows, but
No.
yeah.
But like, okay, you've got this, and look, American fans, it's a lot easier because they can hit up multiple shows within hours of each other.
True. Yeah.
The international fans, I go, great, more power to you, but like, you're keeping a tally of how many shows you've gone to. What the fuck are you going to do when you wake up December 3rd?
Yeah. Yeah. Life's
Yeah.
over.
Well, for a lot of them, it is. Like, we made this, I won't say I'll joke about it, but I see the humorous side in what I'm saying is like, if Gene and Paul were smart, they'd start a Kiss counseling service, Kiss psychology, because
I'd have plenty of clients.
like the mental health of the diehards is fucking going to take a dip,
Yeah, for sure.
and look, congratulations to all the people going to the last 2 shows. Congratulations to all the people that travel to multiple shows. Congratulations to the people doing all of that, but you're still going to wake up December 3rd and everyone else's life is going to move on. And what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Are you going to find another band? Like you said, do they find another band and go chase after them?
Yeah.
What is your plan B? Because to me, all these people are just buying a bunch of merch. And this sounds really morbid, but to hold on to until the Kiss members are no longer in existence to make a buck.
Yeah.
For me, I don't want those kind of memories like that.
No, exactly. Yeah. There's more to life. Yeah. just one thing.
Get a fucking hobby.
Yeah.
Which isn't following Kiss on tour.
Yeah. Be like us. Have about 20 different hobbies.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I just don't get it. No offense to them, but it's just like, and we've been there, and we've done it, but we got to a point in our life where we went, wow, it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but how many shows on the end of the road tour can you possibly see and see something different?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, to me, if I was doing that, I'd be hoping for a fucking giant mistake to happen in the
Yeah.
show so I can go, wow, that was fucked up. You
These
know,
are the ones. These are the guys and girls that are counting pods, right? Oh, there's only 12 pods now, not 16.
yeah,
And
yep. And
Yeah.
like the pick variants and
yeah.
and look, again, more power to them, but
Yeah.
get a life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get a life, because the life as you know it ends in 3 days
It's all gone.
and you don't have a plan B.
No.
Like, can you imagine like being in New York and coming back to Australia? Like, I'm sorry, but if like say I did that, we did that trip without our families, what a lonely ass trip that would be.
Yeah, for sure.
Like coming back,
Yeah.
what an absolute cock block of deflation. Coming back flying solo, knowing you've got no more Kiss shows to go to.
Yeah. I thought about it, but yeah, the smart me gave that a miss.
Yeah, like you could take that money and take all of your family and stay in Disneyland for a week
Mm.
and
For a week,
actually do shit, you know? Like, because just the price of those tickets were ludicrous at one point.
Oh, outrageous.
Didn't I?
I saw, advertising 3 tickets for $2,700 and saying, "Oh, I'm just trying to get my money back." And you think, $900 US a ticket?
Well, apparently someone, because there's some sort of thing with Ticketmaster there where you can charge whatever you want. I heard something about a ticket going for 30 grand.
Oh my God.
And it's like, some idiot will do it. Some idiot
Yeah.
will pull the pin. Now, in
Yeah.
saying that, if I had a limitless bank account, there's actually one thing to do with the last show I would want,
Mm.
and it's no one would ever pick it from me. You know, what would I buy from the last show?
God. Something off the stage.
Gene's sword.
There you go. Yeah.
He's got those 2 swords.
Yeah.
That would be killer.
Yeah.
You know, so I just have a little kiss tard moment there and just go, if I had limitless income, fuck the guitars, they're just guitars.
Yeah.
The sword, or try and buy Sam the Serpent.
Yeah, why not?
That'd be killer in the back corner of this office, just like staring at people.
For sure.
You know, things like that, like guitars. There's only so many guitars you can have.
Yeah.
So Eric snares are pretty killer.
I was very close last year.
But again, like, I buy camera shit all the time.
Mm.
You know, so I don't need more shit. Like,
No.
I'd rather go on a holiday with my family.
Agree.
Because I know I'm going to wake up December 3rd. Life is going to be the same as December 2nd. I'm just going to be a little sad that my favorite band aren't going to play tours anymore.
Yeah. I'll pick it up somewhere without makeup, hopefully down the road somewhere.
How do you think you're going to feel? That, like, are you doing the pay-per-view?
No, not doing it. No, I'll just pick it up on YouTube or whatever. And when it comes out eventually on DVD and Blu-ray, I'll have a look at it. But I don't know. It's just I have real mixed emotions about it. Like you see all these photos from your friends and that over there, and you think, oh God, I wish I was there. I think it's more to do hanging out with them and just and the whole New York scene. It's sort of, to me, it feels like it's late 70s, early 80s vibe, with all these things happening, like the Empire State Building. And
it's like they finally accepted the band 50 years later.
Yeah, they've got that gratification, 40 years too late with the mainstream public, it seems, right? That's what it's seen. And that sort of we grew up in that era, right, where we were really impressionable at that
Yeah.
age. That part of it sort of got me going, oh, geez, I really wish I was there. But then the other part of me, like I said, just, 25, 30 grand. And, we saw the show in October. We saw 2 shows last year. I'm happy with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing. You'll wake up and you'll have a kid wake you up in bed, wanting
Yep.
their breakfast.
Mm.
Same here.
Yeah.
Actually, I will be at a festival shooting while they're on stage.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be out of the T-ball game tomorrow for the first one, right? So,
Yeah. So like that's the thing. Like we will just
so
go on with our lives, and I
Yeah.
really. It sounds really bad, but I actually worry about those fans that don't know any different.
Yeah.
I know they've got the badge of honor of going to the last show,
Mm.
but it's not really.
means
That-
nothing, right?
The last show can't hug you.
Yeah, that's right.
The last show
Well-
won't tell you it loves you.
My cousin went to the last Cold Chisel show, last stand in '83. She's still going to shows now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
at me.
And that's the thing. Like, I actually worry. Will there be like some sort of weird suicide rate of Kiss fans? And I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone.
No, yeah.
But
You just don't know people that like, right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've got a
Yeah.
minute left on this counter before it tells us to get fucked.
Right.
So,
Nice.
so we got a minute left. For me,
Mhm.
I'm actually glad they're finishing. They're done. They're old.
Fine.
They've fucking given us enough.
Mm.
I will wake up that day after and go, thank fuck. What about for you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's bittersweet, but at the end of the day, everyone has their time, right? And nothing lasts forever. So thanks for 50 years of touring.
Yep. Well, we'll recap this after the 2 shows and see what happens. But get a life, Kiss fans. Later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Hanging with Here to Zen. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and guest. Remember to add Here to Zen on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are also on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep up to date on all of our new content. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. We would love if you could take the time to write us a review and leave a comments wherever you have tuned into today's episode. This helps us reach a wider audience and create more amazing content to share with you all. We are grateful for all of your support. Until next time, you have been hanging with Here to Zen.